take a quick look at what we've actually done here to the rear of the car, the 32. So you can see we've got the 32 Texas 32 shape for a plate, and it's actually been molded or Frenched in. Brandon's also came in and taken the factory panel. These had a factory seam. This was a removable bolt-in panel. Came all the way down to the tail end of the bike. He's actually welded this in here, blended it, and then when he made this rear pan, it's not a roll pan anymore, he brought this line and continued it. So it's got a seam in it here. There is a weld seam here where he made this. Now this is what I would call the tail pan. So this is actually one piece here that he made. Did a roll. This actually is instead of a step on it, this is a roll, an actual rollover, and we have some of the dies and equipment to do that. So he's done that. We haven't bobbed the rear fenders. Now the body in the original frame rails came out here because this is where the stock gas tank would have gone. Now the gas tank's going to be up inside the front of the bed. And then we took and ordered a set of Johnson's Hotrod Garage custom 32 style taillights with the nice blended and smooth stands. And we've actually, you can see here where we brought those through the body and they mount. So they would have to come, the fender would have to, actually I don't think the fender does, the way he modified the tail end. These might even still come off without removing the fender. So that's kind of what we've got going on in the tail end here. Now we still got to finish the drip rails. We're going to tie that in. This actual body at one time really was a rumble seat body, but it's been converted back to a trunk. So we're going to tie all this, blend this in. We have some pieces that we got from Brookville Roadster to finish the trunk latch area and this inside piece. And then after that's done, he will start fabricating the location points for his interior panels, which that will give him his overall final dimensions for his gas tank. And then we'll get started on that. So now up here on the front of the car, This car came with some side panels. It came with a hood. It just did not fit. Car body was mounted slightly off. You can see here, Brandon has added some solid rod to the leading edge of the hood and the tail edge of the hood to get his line straight and to give us a finished edge instead of just a raw sheet metal. And he made these hood panels or side panels from scratch. We just started from scratch. So this is the passenger side. Got the body line on it here, the rollover. Now, you may be asking, why does this dip down? Well, it dips down because the body's actually been channeled slightly over the front of the frame rails. And so Brandon has these to where when they go on, that body line continues into the body. Now, these are mounted. One of the old-fashioned ways that we've always done these side panels over the years was just a round hole and a pointed pin off of the frame rail, and you just slide it down over it, slide it up, and put some screws in it and hold it in place. Well, Brandon actually went with some of the quick latches. We sell a few of them, a fair amount of those, and these are used throughout the industry in a lot of areas. So we have these hood latches up here. It's got a double catch, and when this is on, if we don't get in trouble from him, this is gonna go, how does he have this going on? Like so, down over, and then it'll snap into place. Then there'll be a couple of screws here, and this will allow access to the hood. And the hood has some nylon, not a bushing, but a nylon block. And there's a rod that slides back and forth in here, and that rod will go into some existing holes of that nylon block, and then you can either open the hood from one side or the other. So that's kind of how the side panels are made. And customers coming out tomorrow, and we're going to touch base and get an idea of what he may want in the side panels. We're wanting to do something to allow the airflow, stuff like this. We've remounted, actually Brandon's remade all these, so they're solid up to the firewall, and then when the course or the radiator and stuff's in here, this is actually a pretty solid piece. Let's see if we can find the hood right quick. So here's the hood. He's done the same thing on the front of the hood and the rear of the hood, added the steel rod, just spot tacked it on there. It's been fitted to the car. This gives him a nice consistent line around the grill shell and all that. And then there's so many aftermarket or traditional style hood braces. These hoods are real, they were designed just a flimsy piece of sheet metal. So they would twist and tweak, and always the shape gaps on your hood would change a lot, especially on these three-piece deals. So here's what, when we inherited this project, here's what we kind of inherited as possible hood bracings. Stuff to go under the hood. That's an aluminum piece. It's actually a pretty nice piece, but everybody and their dog has one, and they're not structurally the best in the world. And some tube pieces here. You know, this is what you would see under the hood when you opened it to help hold its shape. Hold its shape this way, but also to help give it that. So we just gave Brandon kind of fabricator's freedom, I guess you'd call it. And he's come up with a piece here. So this actually fits and bolts, keeps the hood exactly. This is like some 3/8 steel tubing that he formed to fit the hood. And then he skinned it, and it physically bolts in. So when this piece bolts in after it's bodywork and painted, it will bring the hood back to the factory, to the shape it needs. And then here you can see, let me put my glasses on. You can see these hinges, little old cabinet style hinge, but they use a nylon block, and you can see the hole from the backside of where that dual rod would go in there. And it's a spring-loaded deal, so there's actually a cable up inside the car, and you'll pull on that, and it'll release whatever side you're trying to open the hood from. And then as you open the hood, these will clear. And so you just got to be cautious on your paint buildup too, because it will want to rub right there. So that's kind of where we are on the 32 currently, with the hood fabricated, the side panels, the license plate. He's actually in the process of working on the radiator assembly and making some major changes there in a fan shroud. We are actually going to go to an 18-inch diameter brushless electric fan. So he's building his own shroud that will also be a mount. And then we're modifying the aluminum radiator considerably. So we'll get into that as that progresses along. So I wanted to thank y'all for watching along with us on this video, keeping you up to date on the 32. As you saw, we kind of covered the license plate area and what modifications we've done to that. And then we've also been following along with what Brandon's been doing on the hood, side panels and the top panels, so you have some of that. I think a little bit of what we've touched base on, and it'll be in the next video we've got going on, is the modifications to the radiator and the shroud and the fan and all that area that we've got. So that'll be in the whole next video that's coming up. And wanted to point out our new tables that we got, these steel tables. We found a company called Trident Metal Works out of the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. I found him actually on Facebook Marketplace, and we kind of special ordered these tables to a certain height. They have the heavy duty, I think each wheel is rated at over 1,000 pounds, maybe 1,200 pounds. They all have locks, they're swivels. This is a 3/8 surface here on this one. This one's also 4 feet by 8 feet. And then we have the smaller one that we got, same height. Well, this one's about an 1/8 inch difference, slightly difference in height, because this one has a 1/2 inch surface plate on it. And this one's only 36 by 6 foot on this one. So anyway, I just wanted to give him a shout out. He actually delivered these for us after hours one evening. We got them unloaded, and we love them. They're awesome tables. So I wanted to thank y'all for joining in with us on this video. And please watch, like, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. And stay tuned for the one coming up on the radiator. You'll like it. Thank you.